All right. Good morning again, everybody. It's your boy D Mac. Yeah, I said it and I'll say it again, man. Good morning. I love each and every one of you. That's a thing right there, man. Love. When people make declarations of love, it's something else. It sounds great. It sounds awesome, pulls, tugs at the heartstrings. But is it real? Well, first off, I want to say I love the beginning to my show now. This new intro, I have so much love for that intro. It may not seem like anything to anybody else, but it's very significant to me. And the reason it's significant to me is because that's one of the songs off of an album that I created with my nephew and my friend and my producer who was murdered a few years ago. He was a victim of gun violence. And, every time I hear this intro, it reminds me of him and, you know, just the love that we shared for music and for each other, man. So shout out to Sim, long live Sim. Now going into my show, that's a good segue to go in talking about love because we have a country full of people who always making declarations of love and they how much they love their country and how much they love this or love that. And usually when you make a declaration of an intense emotional connection to something or someone, then that usually insinuates that your actions towards that thing are going to be favorable, they're going to be good, and they're going to be well intentioned and all of those things like that because that's something that you love, you admire, and you respect, right? But we have this situation in our society to where there's a great contradiction where people are going around and they're stating things, but their actions absolutely do not line up with the love that they're proclaiming that they have. And my first example of that would be Americans. Americans will be so quick to say, I love my country, we love our country, but yet Americans are at an alarming rate doing things to destroy this country, whether it be on a social, political level, whether it be on an environmental level, or just straight out just a destructive mindset and a destructive path of life. All of the things that they are contributing to America does not line up with the declaration of I love my country. Now, for one, let's establish one thing that what they're calling their country is not their home of origin. This is a stolen land, like many other lands. I'm not going to say that this is a special case where it was stolen because anytime an outside group of people come in and take a place where you occupy, then that is considered stolen land. So all across the world and all across the globe, people are occupying stolen land, land that once belonged to another civilization of people or so forth and so beyond. So we'll go past that. This is something that we've fought over and argued over for a long time. This is not my argument. We already have this established. What I'm talking about are the people who continually say, oh, I love my country, I love the United States, but all of your actions are to destroy the United States. I hate to keep using this, but this is a hot topic, and I do not want to let these people off the hook. I will not allow them to be off the hook, and those are the January 6th rioters, because these are people who claim to be true blue Americans, and they just love the country so much that they had to go out and fight for the democracy of the country that they felt was being stolen. But if they truly loved America and they truly loved what America stood for, then they would have went the democratic route in order to make that take place and not the route that they went. because what they considered loving their country was them going and assaulting and even killing their fellow countrymen for a concept or an idea that was given to them, not on a fact, not on something true, but on something that they suspected. They were willing to murder fellow Americans. And these are the people, these are the things that make this America. Without those people coming over here and saying, oh, this is America, this wouldn't be America. So all the things that have made America America, these people don't love it. They don't love it. But you know what they love? They love the position that it placed them in this region. That's what they love. They love being in a position of exaggerated authority. That's what they love. And these are the same people who claim that they love God, but they go out and they do everything opposite of his word. Total contradictions of his word, yet they claim they love God. So when people say they love you, be very careful, and you have to go back and you look at the history of what they call love. You look at some things that these people claim to love, some people that these people claim to love, and see how they treated them and see what their love amounts to. Because some people love amounts to disguised hate or passive hatred. Some people's love amounts to that, passive hatred. Yeah, that's a term that I just coined. But it's the truth, and they'll call it love. People will call love not telling you what you need to hear, and instead they'll appease you in order to continue to get something from you, and they will declare that they love you. You have people out here who will use you for everything you have, drain you dry, and they'll treat you nice all the way up until the point to where you have nothing else to offer them. And then they'll make up some excuse of why you're not worthy of their love. But it's not you that changed. There's nothing about you at all that has changed that would change their love, because love is supposed to be unconditional, right? So it's not you that have changed and you're unworthy of their love. It's the fact that they never had love for you in the first place because they don't know what love is. I can recall having a conversation with my wife like halfway through our marriage, and you know, we were talking about love, and how I had an issue of showing my affection. And I was raised in a family to where, I go out and work and I provide and I make sure that we have this and that. That's showing my love. And that's what I was taught, and that's what I was raised to believe. But then I had to come to an understanding that I don't really know what love is, because I've never really operated or practiced love. I've never really seen um, that before. And not to say that my family is not a loving family, but my family does not show love like that. They show love by doing things for you, by watching your kids, by if something happens or you fall on hard times and they'll help. That's how my family shows love. But them being, intimate and hugging and telling you I love you and things of that, being affectionate, that doesn't exist in my family. And that's not a knock on my family. That's just the way that they came up, and that's just the type of people that we come from. And so I had to understand that about myself, and I had to start working on that so that I could properly show affection, so that people could feel adequate love for me. Because I just chalked it up to, I'm doing stuff for you, so you should figure that I'm willing to do things for you, that I love you. But sometimes people need that verbal affirmation of love. And if you can't give that, and your actions line up with that verbal affirmation, then you might want to check your definition of love, because you're really not operating in love. Now we say God is love. Now, so if we're operating in love, that means we're operating in the character of God and all the things that are combined to make up God's character and make him who he is. So if we're operating in that, then that means we have to have an understanding of the Father. And if we don't have a full understanding of the Father, then we're going to mess up in that area. So no one's a love doctor. Nobody can teach you how to love. No one can show you what love is supposed to look like, really, because it's a thing that's based on each person and how they need to be loved. Because some people need tough love. Some people need to be, no, you can't have that because I said so. It's for your own good. Because if I were to allow you to operate under your own understanding, you're going to do things to destroy yourself. And because I care about you, I'm not going to let you do that. That's love. That's a form of love, tough love, because you're going to render a positive outcome on your behalf based on this intense emotion that I have towards you and how I value you. So, we have these people who come out here and be like, yeah, I love America. Yeah, they love America to death, and they're destroying America too. All of the environmental issues, but yet we love America. I love this country. You love it so much that you'll poison the people through the water systems. You love this country so much that you'll poison the air. You love this country so much that you will have all of these people locked down in fear under a lie so that you can make more money and control the people off of fear of having this so-called virus, that so-called epidemic that is taking over the world. But you're going to use this fear in order to accumulate more capital, but you love this country. You're alive from the bowels of hell, and that's where your eyes will lift up. Absolutely 100%. And we have so many Christians or self-proclaimed Christians and other religious elders running around proclaiming to love this and love that, but their words and their actions do not line up with love. And they speak more hate, and they speak more vitriol, and they speak more sarcasm to people than they do love. Some criticism can be love, but some criticism is done in a spirit of hate. So you got to check the spirit of the person, because everybody that jump on and speak kind words and big bold words do not have the right intention for you. Just keep that in mind. I'm very big on words. I'm very big on the meaning of words. I'm very big on semantics and wordplay and word manipulation, because this is what our society is using now to lead you down a dark path and lead you down the wrong roads. So just be mindful of these people who always holler and love this and love that, because they have no concept of what love truly is. Their idea of love is not love. That's infatuation. And I will even go as far as to tell you this. Love will cause you to do some bad things. Why do you say that, D Mac? Well, because the word says it. The word says the love of money is the root to all evil. Not the money, not the money itself. Money is just a tool that we use to barter and trade and to garner influence. But the love of that money, the love of that money, the admiration and the intense emotion connected to that object and what people are willing to do for that object is the root to all evil. So it says the love of it is the evil of it. Wow. Wow, that's a crazy concept. Thank you, God, for bringing that revelation to my mind. So the love of something can be evil. So what are you loving? Who you loving? Why do you think you love it? I say I love pizza. And so if I go and get me a pizza from the store, I'm going to get the kind that I like. I'm going to take my time and pick it out wisely. I'm going to If I have to take it home and cook it, then I'm going to do everything necessary. I'm going to make sure I read the instructions so that I do it properly, because I don't want to burn it. I don't want to ruin it. I want it to be just right for my consumption. And so I'm going to follow all of these directions, and I'm going to do everything necessary for the outcome that I'm looking for with this pizza. And once I get it, now I'm going to start to enjoy what I've prepared. And I'm going to start to relish in that admiration that I have for this thing that I'm enjoying in this time. So if I say that I love something, then I'm going to prepare it in a way that shows my admiration and my respect and my revere for it. So be very careful when you say you love something, or be very careful when people say that they love you, or they love this, or they love that, because if their actions ain't lining up with it, then that's just lip service and they don't know what love is. So let's work on understanding love in its true nature and in its true definition and true form, so that we can quit sending these mixed signals to people and having them out here thinking something is love when all it is infatuation or manipulation in order to gain something from somebody. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave it on that, man. This is your boy D Mac. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.